Hello again. Yet another video on Alesis DM10, Ezdrummer and Bluejay. I've been receiving one or two emails about people having problems with latency, how to set up tension and so on. So I've decided the best way to respond to all you guys out there is make a bit of a cheat sheet and go through it. So I want to go through ICO for all, which will sort your latency problem out, the bass drum, so you don't wear out your beaters on your pedals, the tension on the skins, what I've got, crosstalk, send and receive, ride 2 zone, which the first video I did I had a problem with my ride cymbal triggering the hi-hat, but I found a way around that, so I can share that with you. And finally, setting the curve and sensitivity on the sound module. So I know one or two people actually hitting the toms or hitting the snare and so on, not getting the actual desired result. So, first off, my other videos, obviously, you know, on my laptop, which is 4 gig RAM, so I know one or two people using 4 gig RAM have got in touch. That is coming out via USB. And the back of there, then into my laptop. The first thing I want to talk about, I'll just show you again, is this driver for your, is that clear there? Yeah, just driver for your sound card, which is called AC, that is an I then, or 1 or an L, ASIO or ICO for all, which you can download by going to Google, and I say it is a driver for your sound card. Move things out of the way here, so it'll reduce the latency. Now if I just show you by hitting my snare or toms, just grab a stick here. I've got it going through the speakers there. Perhaps I might just turn up a little bit more actually, and here, just so you can hear it. It is a bit early, so I might wake the neighbours up, but who cares? So if I hit this, so it's very low latency there. Now when you've downloaded that, you need to make sure that TuneTrack, if you are running TuneTrack, is actually using this ACO for all. Now if you go to options at the top there, go to audio and then audio device, and then device type there, if you make sure that that is selected. I can't remember what the default is, to be honest, but when I downloaded this, I don't know if it did it automatically or whether I had to change it afterwards. It's a while ago since I did it, so make sure that is selected, and that should sort out any latency issues. So again, if I show that, that sorts that one out. Right, point number 2. A quick one on the bass drum. Yeah, if you've got the Z heads, or this one that I've got called mesh head there, that's a single ply. The rest of them are double ply. My kick drum's also a double ply as well, but I've just put on there that flam slam because they are quite rough. Obviously if I rub my fingernail against there, and that will rub against your beaters. Now if I just show my beaters again, so when I got these Speed Cobras, that one was on my master, or my primary, should I call that, not master pedal, but primary pedal. And it has worn down. I will have to buy some more, perhaps have a look on eBay. It's a good idea to have the point, it's nice and punchy, but again, look at that, it's nearly flat. And one day I will make a video on how to attach this, but I will show you guys, this is the back of my kick pad there, and if you can see, I've drilled into the frame, and there's a back of a plate, trying to move my big sausage fingers out of the way. That plate there, as you can see, the 2 bolts going through there with the wing nuts, and I found that's really sturdy. Not going anywhere. And it doesn't trigger anything else either, because I've got them bits of foam, that bit of pipe lagging on there. Got 3 sections there. Right, that's point number 2. So to point number 3, tension on skins. Now I have these just like I have in my kit. Again, it is your own kind of preference really. If I just press it down and show the deflection, it's about 5mm. I mean they are quite tight. Obviously your snare is usually tighter than your toms anyway. If you can see there, pushing down, most of them are quite tight. I have my kick pad quite loose. You can see there, it's got a lot more deflection because I don't want any bounce on there. Naturally, obviously, being a bigger skin in your kick drum, bass drum, you won't have as much deflection. So I don't want any kind of bounce back. So the way I play, I kind of bury my beater into there without it bouncing back. So make sure they're wound off as well. Now sometimes when I hit it, I do get like a metal ping, you know, metal against metal. At first I thought it might be the kind of shaft of my kit pedal hitting against the side of the rim there, but it's not. I think it's the metal plate inside, which because it's quite loose, it's rested against the bottom inside, and it's just banging, but it can cause too many problems. So that's that one. The thing to watch out for, I think I'm going to do an upgrade on putting some lock nuts, like nylon lock nuts, underneath perhaps all of my toms and my snare, everything, because I found when hitting these, because they are just normal M6 nuts, I think underneath they are coming loose, and obviously having lock nuts, that should sort it. The thing I found as well, I noticed the frame was starting to get a bit wobbly. Go around checking all of these just to make sure they are tight, because they will work their way loose, and I found that was triggering other sections of the kit that I didn't want to. But also make sure these are tight. The main thing I've found is these two kind of bars there, and nuts are coming loose, and obviously if that's loose, as it's rattling around, it's triggering your snare again. So make sure that's all nice and sturdy if I try and move it back, so it doesn't move anywhere. I'm moving my whole kit there and nothing's triggering at all, so that's very important. Right, this crosstalk send and receive, I'll show you the settings. I don't know if these are ideal. Again, I've just played around, no one's kind of shown me. I'll show you what I've got, and hopefully this will help. So going to EXT trig on there, and if I go to my snare head first and go to trig on there. Now I put my X-Talk receive, I don't mess about with the X-Talk send. I don't really want my pad sending signals, so it's just when it receives it, and I found that's the best thing. So on my snare head, on the rim of my snare, you can see there I've got that up to 6, and just crosstalk on at 1. On first tom, again that's up at 7, second tom up there. You know, it's a re-triggering as well, and threshold, I've got them quite low. If you do take it too far down, your threshold, you start getting it kind of triggering without even hitting it. But I don't want that too high, to be honest. I still want them quite sensitive. That's first floor tom. Second floor tom on there. Even cymbals, my first crash cymbal here. Go down to that again on the maximum of 7, hi-hat maximum, ride, and second cymbal as well. Now the re-trigger on that cymbal there, I have to get that quite high. So I don't know with this cymbal, it is a different type of cymbal, it's not got the kind of the switch on there to choke it, so I've got that one quite high. Again, if you just go through this and pause it. Right, let's have a look at the other points. What else do I want to talk about? Ride 2-zone. Right, from my first video, you noticed I was talking about my ride cymbal actually triggering my hi-hats. Now the way I've got around that is going to the trigger again. Let's take it down to ride on there. I'm going to mode and make sure it's on 2-zone, not 3-zone. If it's on 3-zone, that's when it was triggering the hi-hat. But if it's on 2-zone, they won't have any problems at all. It's kind of like a crashy ride cymbal on that pop rock kit anyway, but that's that sorted. Right, what are we on now then? The curve and sensitivity. Final things then. So also going into EXT trig on there. I'll show you what curves I've got, because this can sometimes, I know people have been saying, trying to hit the tom, it's not getting the desired effect. Tapping that gently, it is. Even with the snare as well. And they're just tapping it. So I've got them set up pretty nice, to be honest. So if I go to the curve on there, have a play around with these. We'll go for sensitivity in a minute, but for my snare, log 1, I've got it, the rim of the snare, log 2, first tom, log 1 again. And that is slightly triggering. Now I am hitting the first tom there, but something's slightly triggering my snare on there. But there, tom head 1. I've got that log 4 because I found out you need to give a bit more force, a bit more hitting power when you're actually hitting your toms. Tom 2. Log 3 there. And spline on that one. For hi-hat, just got it on linear. Same with crash. That's actually my ride now on that percussion head 1. That's spline 4. I'm going with the cymbal on linear. So playing around with your logs on there, log 1, 2, 3, 4, or the splines. Again, my kick drum, that's up at log 3. Now sensitivity, I have these quite high. To trig on there. So I'll go through this. What I've got it. So kick drum is on 85. Snare drum 99. That's the head. The rim, got it on piezo, and sensitivity 65. First tom head 90. Second tom head 90, 91. Tom head 36. I don't know, I've got that on 66 for. It seems to work there, but I want to play around with that. So it is kind of I don't know, a happy medium between your sensitivity and your curves on there. That's pretty much how I've got it set up. Another thing as well, down the bottom on tune track, is that humanize. Is it called humanize? That one there, button. I've put that on because that without it, I know people saying doing rolls and hitting it sound like a machine gun, not very nice. Like that, not very natural. Putting that on. We've got a few more of them dynamics there. So let's give another quick video of me playing. Let's put it up here. You can see when I'm actually hitting them, the trigger sounds I'm actually getting. Not the best view, but to get some kind of idea. And I've got pyjamas on and stupid slippers because I've only just got up. Trying to show the ghost notes on the snare drum as well to show you. Obviously you should get it set up like this. It does sound like a proper acoustic kit. Absolutely gorgeous snare sound on the rim as well. You can get the dynamics as well on that snare if you don't want it race the cart. So. The phone's just fallen off. So that's helped. I'll put some more in the future. Any more questions, please email or ask, and I'll try and make some more videos to help me out. Ta-ra!